Jesus is the true vine and we are the branches. On the 2nd of May 2021, Reverend Father Martin Peter Liobasi ministered the Word of God at the St. George's Catholic Church, Moreton Barracks, Freetown. The good news on that day was that Jesus is the true vine and we are the branches. Just as a branch without its vine is useless, in the same way a Christian without Christ is of no use. As a true vine, Jesus Christ is the source of the nutrients that we, the branches, need for growth and productivity in life. Therefore, we must stay connected to Him so that we will grow and bear fruit that will abide. Now, let's hear from the man of God.
My dear people of God, from last week we hear Jesus Christ say the I am statement. I am. Last week, I am the good shepherd. This week, I am the true vine. And that I am statement is being said severally in almost all of the Gospels. The I am statement. I am. In other passages, I am the way, the truth, and the life. The I am statement. What did that Christ is giving us this I am statement? Why? The I am statement is to deepen in us the understanding that God in Jesus Christ is real. We are all troubled, just as the disciples were after his death. But also, even when he rose, they are still very mixed up, in confusion. Similarly, also like ourselves, at times we think, why is it that this God should come down so low, not only taking our own human form, but allow himself to be killed like a murderer, by sinners? Why? Is it true that he has risen? And so the church carefully presents to us his statement he was uttering whilst he was alive. So these statements were statements made by him before his dreadful experience. And it is now that the disciples have begun catechizing themselves. Oh yes, not true. If you don't talk, he said it. Not true. If you don't talk. And so like last week, being the shepherd, the very good shepherd, who cares, this Sunday, he is now the true vine, that each one of us should be connected. We need to be connected to him. It's just like today, if you don't have a phone, not only to have a phone, but a connected phone, it means you are not proper within this 21st century. That something is wrong with you to have a phone that is not connected. So similarly also our Christian life is a life that should be connected to God, that should be connected to Christ, that our entire being should be a being presented to him. And when we look through the gospel reading, over 3 areas stressing the point that I am the vine, you are the branches. Just like last Sunday, that Good Shepherd Sunday, the image of Joseph came up, presented by the Pope. And that same imagery can be connected also to today's reading in respect of the view that we are connected to Christ by virtue of our divine appointments. That our coming into this world is for a purpose. God did not create us as a result of nothingness. No, each one of us will have a role to play. And so that's the reason why we have been granted the opportunity to come and experience God's creative plan. It's just like we were in a store, like our mothers at home. Every house has a store. And from that store, you have different commodities. You take from those commodities what you want to use at a particular time. And those commodities taken from the store has to prove itself by the ideas that you have. If today you want to prepare porridge, you go in for porridge materials, the utensils are all applied. And those same materials can be used also in the preparation of other meals. And that's your own intent. So God's own intent is being used by our identification and selections. We are all being packed there. And God has chosen us as humans with a specific purpose. Among the same store, there are still commodities there that were transformed into animals. And God said, you come, you be lion, you be tiger, you be leopard, you be dog, you be a cat, you be a rat, you be a mosquito, from that same store. And so each one of us, we have a unique role to play. Very unique. And that characterizes our true identity as human beings. First class. And so we need to be connected first class. And our connection has to be identified our actions. If we have identified as first class, we need to perform first class. And that's why our first class responsibility is to continuously to obey the laws of God and to do that which He has asked us to do. If we are taking for porridge, we need to transform ourselves to the ideal of porridge of God. And so Christ stressing the connectivity of Himself to God and Himself to us. And so whatever we do or want to do, we should realize first and foremost that we have been identified, chosen, and need to perform our role. And the performing of our role means bringing God's kingdom to humanity. If God in Jesus Christ is the vine and we are the branches, then we get our support from Christ. Because if you cut yourself off from Christ, you wither. Because the branches from the vine cannot be even used as wood. It's just to be gathered around and burnt. And so you become useless when you are not connected with Christ. Properly connected with Christ. And so today, this imagery is an imagery that is supposed to be within us as we live our lives. We don't live for ourselves. We live for God and for a purpose designed by God.